Welcome to John S, where we do all things sport, Championship football, League One football, and even a little bit of running as well. We are going to go through League One Week 2 predictions, but first let's go through Week 1 because we had an interesting Week 1. We got 5 results correct, we got 1 spot on. Let's go through the games first. Barnsley-Mansfield, we said 3-1, it was 2-1 to Mansfield. Birmingham-Reading, we said 3-1 to Birmingham, and Birmingham didn't really get past that sort of second third. As soon as they got into the final third, they couldn't handle the League One style. You've got the ball where you're going to get 3 defenders upon you in a matter of seconds. They don't stand off you, and Birmingham couldn't handle that because they're trying to play Championship football. I expected 3-1 to Birmingham. It was 1-1 draw. And then we get Bristol Rovers versus Northampton. I expected 1-1, a low-scoring game. It was low-scoring. It was 1-0 to Bristol Rovers. Burton-Lincoln, I expected 2-1 to Lincoln, and it was 3-2 to Lincoln. So that was the correct result. Crawley-Blackpool. Crawley really did step up and have a couple of really good certainly one really good goal there. 1-0 to Blackpool, I said, and it was 2-1 to Crawley, so they started well. Exeter versus my team Rotherham, I said 1-1 draw and that we wouldn't really turn up. We didn't turn up, but Exeter certainly did, and a couple of people, their fans, turned up afterwards and said, you do realise we were in the top 6 at in the last few games of the season for how well they were doing in those sort of 6 games. I can imagine it. Thanks, guys. So we lost 1-0 to Exeter, and Orient Bolton. I expected Bolton to win. I thought 3-0. It was 2-1. So Orient actually did really well there, and that's something to think about this week. Peterborough, Huddersfield, tough game. This is going to be 2-2. It's going to be a really ding-dong battle. But Peterborough's new system doesn't seem to be working quite yet. And it was a 2-0 win to Huddersfield. Pretty easy win for them in the end. Stevenage, Shrewsbury, I said 1-0 to Stevenage, and it was 1-0 to Stevenage. Correct result and correct score. Stockport versus Cambridge, I said 2-1 to Stockport, it was 2-0, another result. Wigan Charlton, low scoring, could go either way. I said 1-1, I sat on the fence, but it was a 1-0 to Charlton. And Wrexham versus Wycombe, I thought the class of Wrexham's going to really be a bit too much. 2-1 to Wrexham, it was 3-2 to Wrexham, so it was a good result overall. I was pretty happy about that. There we go, League 1, Week 2. I get even 1s and 2s mixed up. Charlton versus Leyton Orient come first, and there's lots of thoughts around this. I think a lot of people are sort of still erring towards that Charlton win last week and thinking they can probably keep this going. I think they can. I think it'll be Charlton 1, Leyton Orient 0. Shrewsbury Peterborough. Will Peterborough turn up? I think Peterborough will want this more because it just didn't click last week, and I think they're going to have to click at some point, and I think they'll click soon. Will they click this weekend? I'm going to say they are. I don't know if they'll fully click. I think there'll still be enough for Shrewsbury, even though it's away. I think it's going to be Shrewsbury 0, Peterborough 1. Blackpool Stockport, and 2 teams that'll be really going for it this week because Blackpool obviously lost 2-1 at Crawley. And Stockport, well, they won 2-0 at home to Cambridge, so they'll be wanting to keep this going and prove people wrong, won't they? They are going to be a force to be reckoned with, and not going to just sit somewhere in that sort of middle stroke bottom third. So I think it'll be an interesting game. A lot of different people thinking different things with the Blackpool Stockport game. I'm going to go Blackpool 2, Stockport 2. Cambridge Crawley. Crawley did really well, as we know. Really good first home game for them. Cambridge, well, didn't really turn up against Stockport, I don't think. For that reason, I'm going to go Cambridge 0, Crawley 1. Into the second third, we go Huddersfield Stevenage, purely based on the fact that Huddersfield seem to be playing really good football, and they can manage the League One style of football. I was really impressed by that. I think it's going to be Huddersfield 2, Stevenage 0. Lincoln Barnsley. Obviously, Barnsley hit by that really good goal from Mansfield there, and it really sunk them 2-1. Yeah, they weren't going to come back from that. I think that, and Lincoln, well, there we get Lincoln, yeah, 3-2. I got the result right, but I didn't get the score right. There was 3 goals there against Burton. This is going to be a really difficult one, isn't it? I can see the Lincoln Barnsley game being quite difficult. I think it's going to be low scoring, and a lot of other people are thinking low scoring as well. And I think it'll be Lincoln City 1, Barnsley 0. Mansfield really impressed by that, by their supply. I'm really impressed by their goals. I think they could be. They're my one to watch, and I'm going to keep them as my one to watch because I think Mansfield Burton in Mansfield 3, Burton 0. Northampton Exeter. Exeter are showing how well they finished, and they're keeping it going. Against a Northampton town that I don't really think it was I thought it was a very boring game. They lost 1-0 to Bristol Rovers. I thought it'd be 1-1. I thought I had an inkling it was going to be low scoring. I just think Exeter have got too much for them this week. I think Northampton 0, Exeter 2. Into the final third we go, and it's Reading versus Wigan. A lot of people are going for Reading. I think Reading played so well against Birmingham, but a lot of it was just dogged determination and League One defending. I think there was some absolute moments of brilliance, just marked by a lot of dogged determination in defence. Although you can't take it away from it, it was a damn good draw. I think that the Reading Wigan game will be an interesting one. It could be high scoring. A lot of people going Reading. A lot of people don't think Wigan are going to score. It was a 0-1 win to Charlton, but it's Charlton, and Charlton can play quite well. They didn't play that well last week, but I think they can. And I think just because of who they are, they would have set up to try not to let one in. Reading Wigan. And this is the other thing is it's sort of like a throwback to the Championship days, isn't it? Reading Wigan, Reading. I think we can throw out the form, and these are going to be two teams that know each other quite well. Reading 2, Wigan 2. Rotherham Bristol, and we didn't turn up. We're trying to play it down the wings, and we haven't got any wingers. I really don't see where this. I mean, we had a couple of dozen shots on at the goal midweek, and we should be trouncing teams such as them. And yet we sort of struggled to win 2-1 last week. We didn't even turn up against Exeter. I worry for them against the Bristol Rovers side. That was quite a boring game, and I think even Bristol Rovers fans would think they won it, but only 1-0, and they need to be against Northampton. They needed to be showing a little bit more verb. For that reason, I'm going to go Rotherham 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Wycombe Birmingham. I think Birmingham will be wanting to get back on track. They now know what the difference is between the Championship and League One. I think they will learn. Will they learn now? Will they learn this week? Will they learn next week? The week after? Wycombe know how to stop them if they look at the videos of Reading. Will they do it? Probably will. They're quite intelligent. The people who run Wycombe. And I think and Wigan are as well. But I'm going to go with Wycombe 1, Birmingham 2. Bolton versus Wrexham is an interesting one because I think they both got really good quality, and they are showing that they've got the quality. I mean, where do we go? Where do we go? Because Bolton won the last one, but it was only against Leyton Orient, and they didn't win it as well as I thought. They didn't play as well as I thought. On the other hand, Wrexham actually played really well. Could be quite close, this one, and I've seen people choose both sides by pretty decent margins. It's quite a hair-raising thought, this one. I think it could be... I think it's going to be 3-1. I just don't know which direction. I'm going to plump with Bolton 3, Wrexham 1. So that's our League One Week 2 predictions. Please put your comments in below. If you don't like what I've said, it is just a little bit of fun, really. I do look at other people's suggestions and predictions. Put your predictions in below, what you think for this weekend, and also put your predictions in for next weekend, because I do take it into account. I do have a little bit of a look, and maybe I'll mention you in next week's prediction video for week 3. But until then, it's John S signing out on John S's Sports Channel for everything Championship, League One and running, and I'll see you again in the watch-alongs this weekend.